Hello and welcome back to Starving Artist Courses, your all-in-one online music education resource. My name is Juet, and this entire month we are dedicating to learning Photograph by Ed Sheeran. Today, this is week 2 of your drum lesson for that song. So let's go ahead and get started. If you missed last week's lesson, make sure you go and check that out first. We learned the foundation of the song, the part of the song that can actually be played entirely through. But as I mentioned last week, the song has a lot more fills and a lot more sections to it, and we want to be able to break the song down in its entirety, top to bottom. So let's go ahead and dive into the next phase. Now for today's lesson, we're only going to do 2 exercises, and it's going to add a little bit more to the floor tom. Now if you remember, last week we used the snare, the kick, the rack tom, and the floor tom. We're going to just use just those 4 components again today, but we're just adding a little bit more to the floor tom. So for the first exercise, we're going to do those 8th notes again on the floor, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. But this time we're going to add an extra hit on the and after 2. So we'll be using both hands. So we'll go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Again, the snare will be in that first measure and the third. The rack tom will be in the second measure and the fourth. So again, same exact rhythm as last week, but we're just adding an extra hit on the floor tom. So let's go ahead and dive in and try this out. All right, great job, nice and easy. Now for our last exercise, we're going to again focus on the floor tom. Now remember in our beginner series, we introduced something called 16th notes. The 16th notes will go 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. So we're going to focus again on the floor tom, and we're going to hit it again on the 16th note after the and, after the 4. So it's going to go 4 and a. That's where we hit the floor tom. We're still gonna hit the snare in the first measure and the third, and we're gonna hit the rack tom on the second measure and the fourth on the count 4. But then after the and after 4, we're going to hit the floor tom. So let's go ahead and try this out. We're gonna start at 90 beats per minute again and go up to 108, which is the actual BPM of the song Photograph. So let's go ahead and try this out. And that wraps up week 2 of the drum lessons for the song Photograph. Now, this week when you practice, again, I want you to practice at 90 beats per minute and work your way up to 108. Now, here's a little tip of how you can set up your metronome. Now, you know if you set it at 90 beats per minute, each click is on the quarter notes. If you need to be a little bit more locked, like if you're on the quarters and you're finding that it's a little sloppy, that you're not hitting it exactly on the beat when you're hitting the floor tom, then change it to 180 beats per minute, which will essentially be like 8th notes. It'll go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. It's just doubling up your 90. So in your head, you're hearing click, 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 instead of click, 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 click. And then how fast it's going, that's where you want to hit the floor tom. Those will be your 8th notes. So that's just a little trick that you can do with your metronome to lock your right hand with that floor tom, okay? Make sure to tune in next week because we're going to be incorporating a couple more elements that's going to bring a little bit more dynamics to the song, so you don't want to miss that. If you want to join the Starving Artist community and even get one-on-one lessons, make sure to visit our website at starvingartistcourses.com/VIP. There you can connect with our instructors and connect with a community of other aspiring artists. So it's an awesome tool that you don't want to miss out on. Thank you again for tuning in to Starving Artist Courses. Make sure to subscribe, like, and hit the bell so you don't miss the next lesson. And make sure to comment below. We want to know how you guys are developing as you watch these videos. If you have any questions or any song suggestions, go ahead and comment below and let us know. Thank you once again, and we'll see you next week.